So what's up, everybody? How you doing? Today I came back here with my buddy. We actually hunting, but we pretty further up. So I would just elaborate on the fact that or not the fact, but I would just elaborate on some things where people um saying this and saying that because they heard that from their fathers and their grandfathers, maybe trying to be right and trying to to make it look right for what happened in Liberia. Nobody is right for what happened in Liberia. People sometimes should be patient in everything. All right, I'll tell you this. I got a video coming, but because I know people are impatient for the video, so let me just elaborate a little bit. Then I will show the video will just be backup points actually. So Talbot, they say Americo Liberian. Talbot more of a Pele, which is a native, and from because the Americans when the African Americans came to Liberia, they didn't just stay by themselves. They intermarry with the natives. They married natives, like my grandfather now. My grandfather married 50 plus women, all natives. It's people are like, wow, 50 wives. Yeah. If you go on my Instagram, you will see the land that my grandfather owned, and you will see how rich this man was. Gold, diamond, ivory. He was a hunter, and maybe that's where we get most of our passion from. Dealing with the land, the soil, and he was even offered by his cousin, President Tubman, to be his first cousin, which is we consider brother in Liberia. He was offered to be a vice president, which is he was probably the one that was going to get killed now by President Dole or whatever, because he was going to be in Tubman's Talbot place actually. So he was asked to be the vice president. He said, nah, he don't want to, because my President Talbot told him that, hey, you got too many women to be out here as a vice president, so you need to leave those women, man, and focus on. And he said, nah, I can't do it. And me and my grandma laugh about it, and she tells me that I remind her a lot about him because, just the way I like farming and all these things, and, just being strong and stuff like that. Not to brag, but anyway. So it's funny when I hear a story about my grandfather. I had his pictures and all that. I wish I still have it and to post it and show it, because some people probably know him. But anyway, my uncle got it now. My uncle took it. But yeah, let's not get away from the topic that, you know, President Dole, to me, President Dole had a great personality, but he had some crazy people around him, right? And President Dole did not physically kill President Talbot. It wasn't by the hands of Dole. It's more like a stage coup where there was an assassin that was brought to Liberia to kill the president. It was signed, like it was there for like couple of, they planned it already, because Talbot was a Pan-African. He was all about uniting Africa. He was the best friend of Hufoi, right next door to Ivory Coast. And if you notice, Kwame Nkrumah, it was the time where Kwame Nkrumah, Jumbo Kenyatta, and a lot of African leaders was trying to be all about Africa. They were always going to Addis Ababa, and like with Ethiopia, having meetings with the king of Ethiopia and all that stuff. And the Western world was really against this. They were trying to get all these presidents that were really Pan-African out of Africa. They was trying to assassinate them. So President Talbot had it coming either way. That's the first thing. So Ronald Reagan used President Dole. He used Sergeant Dole right there. That destroys whatever the free slaves has built. And it give them, like I talk about the book Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, a Nigerian man. I don't know if I pronounced his name right. Sorry for the pronunciation if it's not right. But he said, and I'm not trying to be racist or nothing. He said, the white man has put a knife on the things that held us together, and we have fallen apart. Right there, the white man has put a knife on the things that held us together, and we have fallen apart. There was a rebellion coming anyway in Liberia, if you think about it, but it could be handled, it could be settled. President Talbot came up with a idea where one term going to be 8 years. It's not going to be 4 years, because if you look at it, I think it makes sense. If you look at it, 4 years and another president comes 4 years, how often do you see one president do 4 years and get voted out? It's very rare. So most presidents stay 2 years, two terms actually in Liberia, 8 years, or some of them stay longer than that before actually. So now, how you save the money for election and running campaign and all that, you can take that money and do something else with it. First of all, Talbot was a businessman. He was very smart when it comes to business. He had a fishing company going, shipping, exporting things out of Liberia. He had a rice farm. He had all these things, and the people are the same people he sent to school. Marcus Matthew, and which was his son was my best friend actually. We went to school together. We hang out together. We did all these things together in exile in Ivory Coast, matter of fact, during the war. So we went to exile. We went to the same school. Marcus Matthew's son. He's a great guy. I met him in Ivory Coast and all that. But it was where they read about South Africa, right? Because if you notice, how they call him, Nelson Mandela, they all came to Africa. They all came to Liberia. Liberia was the only first republic in Africa, so everybody wanted that freedom. So everybody came to Liberia. They had Hotel Africa. They had all these beautiful sceneries. And come on now, Liberia was great. If you look at some old videos on YouTube, I don't want to discredit people on YouTube, because YouTube have a lot of beautiful things about Liberia, but you just got to do your research. You got to do your research, and you will see a lot of beautiful videos and sceneries and all that stuff about Liberia. Like this older chick from Ivory Coast, she told me, she's like, when my boyfriend used to come and get me, we go to vacation in Liberia. There was a hotel that it was amazing. They had all these presidents from all around Africa. Even the Queen of England used to go to Liberia and sleep in that hotel. Imagine that. So there were a lot of great things in Liberia that people don't even know today, because most of our youth, all they know is the war. And everybody said, President Dole killed President Talbot. President Dole needed that kind of hero kind of mentality. He fooled the Liberian actually acting like a hero, right? I'm not discrediting him neither, but he wasn't the one that killed Talbot. Let me just be fair with this. He didn't kill Talbot. So he did that, and they said, okay, he killed Talbot. They put the blame, because they didn't want to put the blame on America and Israel and Egypt. And let me say, not Egypt, because Egypt, President Talbot was cool with Egypt. So he was against Israel, and he was against American policies. And Ronald Reagan tried to bribe him, I don't know how many $1 million, and he said, no, I don't want it. I'm not going to sell my country. Imagine that. People don't know that. But then when he got killed, the native, like, oh yeah, native, they made it seem like the native and the Congo people and all that stuff is President Dole, people that was behind him. They fooled him. You know, Ronald Reagan, and I'm not scared to say it. Ronald Reagan said he should, because it's order straight from America. If you notice, even Prince Johnson, when he killed Dole too, he called Tango, and this. I want to speak with the American ambassador, or I want to speak with this man. He called a man name. There's a video coming, and I told you I'll put all that in the video. So Dole had it coming either way from it. He was going to get killed by anybody too, by just anybody that could do it. President Talbot was going to get killed by anybody that could do it. So now, you know, the foreign policy, the Western world is so smart that they do things to turn people against each other. Then the country is messed up. Then they can get anything they want. The war did not stop Firestone production in rubber and all that. The war did not stop that. They were still manufacturing. They were still getting latex and sending it out of Liberia now, but the government can't really monitor it. So it's what Firestone wanted. Firestone wanted Talbot out, because he signed a deal with them where they had to pay Liberians more money. They had to put Liberians in the management positions and in bigger positions in Firestone, because Firestone cannot be in your country and taking everything out and draining you dry and not making any money. So Talbot was doing great, but President Dole didn't know that. So he went in And they fooled him. He changed all those things, and little bit of money. President Dole even took a loan to build his wife talked about it last time. He took a loan to build his house in his village or whatever, and they didn't even complete it. And now it's a whole lot of this and that here and there, right? But he was fooled. That's what happened. And they killed all these older men that knew about the government that could help him. They could forget the death of President Talbot. They could have talked about it like, hey, I wasn't the one that killed him. Be honest. I wasn't the one that killed him, but it was something like that was staged and made it seem like it's me. But some people arrogant, some people proud, some people whatever, you call it. So they staged the coup, and after they killed the man and they went in there like they did it. You see what I'm saying? That's what happened. Because even President Talbot's wife said it. She saw a white hand. And matter of fact, I got told that that he was his security shot one of them, and his body was there, whatever. But they took the body out later. So they shot each other. The security got shot, and I think the girl President Talbot was sleeping with too got killed. I think I'm not sure of that, but I think she got killed because it was kind of legal in Liberia. Polygamy and all that was legal. So anyway, it's just something like that. People ask me, oh, why the native kill the African American? That's what it make you think. So you cannot go back and invest. So you cannot go back and reclaim what's yours. That's what it make you think. But now the natives, the African Americans, we don't see the difference. We all the same. Because my great-grandfather married a native woman and married a lot of native women. So how can you differentiate between a native and a Afro-American when they got kids going down the line and grandkids and all that? It was always like that. People just make it seem like it's the native against the Congo people. It's not. Let's stop that. We need to cut all that off and see about building our country, bringing our country back up together. Forget the native, forget the Congo people, forget the Afro-Americans or the Americo Liberians. Forget all that crap. We all the same now. Some cultures and some beliefs and stuff I don't believe, but it doesn't mean that we cannot walk hand in hand and build what's ours. We build it together. Let's do it. That's what it should be now. So we need to stop focusing on politics or politricks. That's what I don't look at politics when I'm in Liberia. I tell people, I say, for example, I said something the last time, and I'll make sure I start talking to Liberian Association people. But anyway, I will get back at you pretty soon, and subscribe and share the video. Thank you.